Hello boys and girls, this is Dr. Chris here with another Pokemon Showdown replay. In this one, I'm playing a guy named Status Quo, and he doesn't have the best of rankings, but hacks makes this game probably one of the best I've had in a while. He hacks me pretty bad a majority of the battle, and you'll see what I mean. And I haven't done a Showdown replay in a while, so I decided I'd do one. So let's get right into it. I'm going to lead with my Shaman because I notice it threatens out a lot of his team and I don't want him leading with his Rotom, so I'm just going to lead with my Shaman. This is a Scarf Shaman, by the way. Credit to my man Connor for for the idea of this set. Now, if I had hit my Seed Flare there, I would have been able to calc how much it did, and then I would have been able to see what kind of Altaria it most likely is, be it defensive or what. And looking at that damage, I want to say that it's not completely offensive, but it's also not completely bulky, because I think that does have some attack investment. That is doing a decent chunk. And now I just get blown the fuck back by a bulky Infernape, and it's not that big of a deal. I mean, in theory, I could have stayed in on it with my Mew and Taunted, because I do have more speed on that than he most likely has in his Infernape, because he's probably running a lot of bulk, which you kind of need to for bulky Infernape, and not a lot of speed. Maybe not for just, like, Bisharp. But I know that since it's not that bulky of a Pokemon, he's probably not going to be running that many speed EVs because it really needs it in bulk. I just missed a Wisp here, which would have been phenomenal to hit, and it really that right there changed the tide of this battle. And I don't think I realized at this point that I probably outsped his Infernape, but I am just going to go ahead and sack my Dragonite because it really does nothing for me. And now I think I canceled and went for Dragon Tail. Oh yeah, in the chat I was complaining that the cancel button didn't work, and I know the cancel button doesn't work, but it's one thing for the cancel button not to work in like whatever, just because it's laggy, it didn't go through. But I clicked that and canceled it, and then clicked Dragon Tail on his Landorus switch in, and in that time, alright, I clicked the timer button. I fucking clicked timer, and the timer went through immediately, and my move didn't. So, I don't know how this works. It doesn't make sense to me why the cancel button doesn't work. I'm just gonna get my rocks up here, as it will be helpful because I want to... I wanted Rock's damage out of the Vanity to ensure that the Seed Flare would be able to knock it out. I think here he shows that he doesn't have Ice Beam or something. It's probably what am I saying? It's most likely the Rain Dance set with maybe Energy Ball and Scald. Not sure. That's all I can really think of. And I am just going to bring in my Scarf Shaman and go for Seed Flare, because I needed something to reliably revenge kill Manaphy. And I could use Superior, because I needed something that handled Sableye, Gliscor, and Manaphy. And I used a Restock Ludicolo, which is the worst Pokemon you could possibly use. It's literally horrible. Don't use that. So, I asked my man Connor, and he recommended I use that Shaman, and it's been working wonders. I'm wondering if, like Superior might be better. But Scarf is nice, and I'm not sure. Healing Wish is also a very cool thing to use. He does kind of surprise me with HP Fire Alakazam, like, hey, not bad, I use that too. Kind of, I mean, I don't know, sometimes it's 3 attacking moves, and then, like, a support move, like, be it Encore, Sub, or something like that, so I'm guessing it's just Sash, since it doesn't have Sub, or, I don't know. But I'm missing a lot of Wisps, like, his Altar is the only thing dodging everything, it's dodging Seed Flares. Look, and then I missed the Play Rough, and I would have been able to stay in and Play Rough again, because I am a Azumarill. This is actually a Resto Lummo. Lum is there for burns and shit, and handling Gliscor a little better. And then Rest is like, if I actually, like, still have this Lumberry, and I really want to rest, why not, He does make the good play of Volt Switching twice, which, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of obvious I wasn't staying in, because I mean, Landorus is still helpful for intimidating the, Altaria, that's about it for me, so I could have U-turned, to be honest, but I do want a little bit of damage on this. I know it does have Roost, but I want it to the point where after it comes in on rocks, it won't be able to easily take on my, my Shaman. And I do expect him to switch out here, so I'm going to go for the U-turn. Switch back in my Shame, and then I believe, do I pick up? I think I kill his Infernape, and I get damage on his Alakazam, because he didn't expect me to be Scarf. I do get the Spadef drop on his Infernape, unfortunately for him, but he's axing the dick off of me, so, I mean, you know, can't really say that I'm hacking him here. I am going to be able to get the Spadef drop on him, and then I'll be able to clean him up with the next one. Not having to worry about if he is, for whatever ungodly reason, he might be, like, timid max speed. I don't know. I do get the surprise damage on his Alakazam, because he didn't expect me to be Scarf. What? My computer just went black. Okay. And he's going to be able to knock me out. And in the chat right here, he started calling me a retard for using stupid sets. He still doesn't know that this is a fucking Resto Llama Zoomer. I am going to expect him to either Pain Split or go for a Wisp, so I am going to stay in here and go for Flare Off. Now, I know it is not an Aqua Jet, so I'm going to Death Fodder my Landorus here, and then I will be able to bring in my Mew. And this is why preserving your win condition and using good sets like Starbreaker Mew will win you games. I am going to be able to let my Landorus die here, as I think I just clicked U-turn just in case he missed or something. I don't know. And I'm going to be able to go on my Mew, and I think alright, let me explain my thought process here. I had a couple options. I could Taunt on the Pain Split. I could Roost on him potentially Will-O-Wisping or the Pain Split. I knew he most likely would Pain Split on my Roost, like that is really obvious. But either way, it gets my Mew up to more HP, and his Rotom isn't that hard for my Mew to deal with anyway. All I need to do is keep this at a high health, and there's no possible way his Alakazam's Shadow Ball will be able to knock me out. And then I think I am faster than his Altaria, so granted I don't miss Wisp. I miss Wisp. Then I will be able to stall him out because I can go for Wisp, and then Wisp Taunt and all that. Actually, no, other way around rather. I kind of messed up by not having done so when he sends it in a second. But had I burned it, earlier, then there would be no way of me misplaying that. And by the looks of him not going for Wisp, I don't think he has it, because it's more important that he gets damage on this than he burns his own Rotom, so, I mean, I don't know. Here is a 100% misplay. I should have gone for Taunt regardless, because then I knew he had the possibility of going for Refresh, but that makes it a little more interesting. So I'm just going to go for Wisp here. He said that the miss did not matter, but had I not missed him, then he would be at a much lower health, and I would have been able to get the Taunt off. As he, like here, you can go for Roost / Heal Bell, whatever he really wants to do. In my opinion, he should have Heal Bell. There's no reason for him not to. But again, like that was a misplay on my part not to have gone for the Taunt the first turn out. I just feel like since he didn't DD up on my Landorus, then he most likely didn't have it. But it was really his only reason of bringing it in was that it was going to be able to DD up on me, and it wasn't like a full weird support set or something. I don't know. You see some weird shit with Altaria these days. But I am... Okay, so here's the play of the match right here. I know I can continually... It all comes down to a couple of predictions here. And if I get them right, I win. If he gets them right, he wins. Now, he could do a couple things. His Taunt's going to wear off this turn, as you can see. Boom. So I could Roost and stall him out of 2 more Frustrations, so then I won't be in range for his Alakazam. I could Seismic Toss, expecting 2 things, either him to Roost or him to go for Refresh, because had he roosted, then my Seismic Toss would pretty much bring him around the same area of health anyway, and he couldn't stand here and do that all day. And I believe that after that amount of damage on my Mew, it would be around half had he roosted and then only hit me with 1 Frustration. I'll be at around half, which his Alakazam may or may not be able to knock me out with a Shadow Ball from there. So my best play is, in my opinion, to go for Seismic Toss, because if I Taunt, then I'm fucked, pretty much. Because then he can go for either a Heal Bell / Refresh here, or he could Roost here, and then it would just prolong it. So in my opinion, the best play is to go for Seismic Toss, And I do end up getting the prediction correct. He does go for the heal, but expecting me to go for the taunt, and he would have been able to knock me out, or come close to knocking me out, rather, with the return. I do get that prediction right, and my Mew's at full health, which is pretty funny. And I have 277 speed on this Mew, so I will be able to actually outspeed his Landorus if he was running something like 263 for Looms and Bisharps. I'm not sure what he was running, to be honest. And now he goes into Alakazam, and I knew the game's pretty much over at this point, as his Shadow Ball would be doing absolutely nothing to my Mew, and I'll be able to knock him out with a Seismic Toss. And as he goes into Rotom here, I'm going to Death Fodder my Azumarill. As he goes for the Hydro Pump, I'll be able to get Aqua Jet damage off, which will essentially, if he wants to Volt Switch out on me, it will put him in Seismic Toss range after he comes back in on Rocks, which is perfect. And then I know I can just keep Recover Stalling his Landorus, so there's really nothing for me to worry about at this point. And because of hacks, this game was close, and, you know, that's really a common theme in a lot of games. But, you know, if you guys learned something from this video, it's preserve your win condition. Don't complain about hacks until you already know you lost, because I almost forfeited this battle, like, a million different times halfway through. When I missed Wisp on that Altaria, like twice, I almost quit out each time. But now he is going to actually just disconnect, which is why you see his Pokemon out and not mine. So I wasn't able to send out my Mew, but had I sent it out, I would have been able to just roost up on this, and then I would have been able to Seismic Toss it to death, and his Rotom would have been in Seismic Toss range after Rocks. So it was a pretty good battle, actually, and I checked this guy's rank afterwards. It was pretty bad. It was only like a 70 GXE or something like that. I'm not really sure. It wasn't that great. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I hope you learned something. If you did, remember to give it a thumb up, give it a thumb up the butt, and I'll be bringing out more videos to you guys like this. See you in the next one.